Shalom. Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. I'm going to attempt to record the first part of the video again. I'm pretty aggravated because I recorded a whole video and only half of it recorded. I know I pressed the record button, but when the screen turned off, it didn't save it. And it's funny because I went into a whole plethora of information, and now I got to do this shit again, which, you know, you can never capture the essence of the first spirit, you know, that you've put out. But basically, long story short, and I'll try to make it quick this time because I really don't recall everything I said. But I was looking at Dabu 7's video, and we was going into how these I even showed it, man. Hold on. I even went here. I'll show you how they were setting up these riots
whole summer
and these particular No Kings events in all 50 states. And I hit it on it in the second video too, but I showed the map actually where they're gonna be at in Kansas City, because when you go here, and I'm gonna play this video again because I did play it during the first segment, but I showed this here, nokings.org, and find out that Walmart is sponsoring this shit. Okay, I think her name is Christy Walton, which is like the great granddaughter of Solid. Not what's this nigga's name? Sam Walton. I believe she was married into the Waltons, but it came out that in fact, Walmart is sponsoring this to some degree, which this is nothing but a government psyop. It says, in America, we don't do kings. It says they've defiled our courts, deported Americans, disappeared people off the streets, attacked our civil rights, and slashed our services. The corruption has gone too far. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Because we know that Trump has declared himself pretty much a king, a dictator, right? And also I went into the account of how they were putting out Craigslist ads on these particular platforms to get people to go out there and incite, because this is controlled chaos, man. All right, order out of chaos. That's what it is. Controlled opposition, pressure from above, pressure from beneath. The same playbook Esau has been using since the Greco-Roman Empire. It's the same playbook he's doing today. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, so it says on June 14th, we rise up, which shows you that this is a psyop, because if this is a national thing, everybody or every state in the country will partake in this coming ordeal, which they can declare this an insurrection, because things are going to get pretty much out of hand. You know, as I went into the last video, I went into this article here about the Department of Defense security for protection of Department of Homeland Security functions. And I went into it so I don't have to go into it again. But basically, he's already given himself justification to bring in more Marines and troops, because right now the National Guard is deployed, and you have 700 military officials or Marines that has been deployed to parts of California to coil civil unrest, which a lot of those are agent provocateurs, man. All right, and I'm pretty pissed off because the fucking first video, I don't know why I didn't save. You know, maybe I didn't press record. I don't know. I thought I did, because usually when I'm listening to videos and if it's recording, the videos is pretty low. So that's how I know that it was recording. But Satan, you know, he always likes to throw a monkey wrench in the program, but it's all through the spirit, man. All through the spirit. So anyway, peep this, because you got what they call Palantir, which allegedly through Palantir, they're able to track these people and know who's riding and know who's who. But what are the chances that here, peep this, this is all 50 states of all these protests going on in the country. Chicago, Missouri. Now peep this, right? Let's type in a Kansas City zip code. 64111, right? Bam. So this is where they're protesting. They're protesting in Lenexa, Kansas. They're protesting on 119th Street and Blue Valley Parkway. They're protesting in another part in Overland Park. And also they're protesting in the actual city of Kansas City. June 14th, No Kings rally from 12 to 3 o'clock, which is the plaza area. Now, peep this, right? Peep this. That's where it gets a little funny. It says on June 14th, Flag Day, Donald Trump wants tanks in the streets and a man-made for TV display of dominance for his birthday. It says a spectacle meant to look like strength, but real power isn't staged in Washington, but it rises up everywhere else. It says No Kings is a nationwide day of defiance, from city blocks to small towns, from courthouses to steps to community parks. We're taking action to reject authoritarianism because this is a feudist society. Okay, what's happening is that they're taking away people's constitutional rights, and he's allowing the military to step in against U.S. citizens, which is against the Constitution. But he's justifying it based on the Insurrection Act that he can push by saying you people are violent, but we're going to prove that, in fact, these riots and so forth are orchestrated by government officials. Okay, they are paid agitators. Not saying that there won't be real riots and skirmishes, but these things are not organic at all. Okay, they didn't just come out of thin air, but they was incited. Okay, the police was inciting riots and harassing people, and people retaliated. And then they got a group of people that they paid to come in and fuck with the police to make it seem like it's people was protesting. But there will come a time that real live rounds and bullets will be used in these protests, man. Okay, because once the inorganic shit gets squashed and beat away, when things happen, when certain legislation is put into parameters, then you better believe that these things are going to happen organically, and they're going to be just natural. Regular citizens just losing their marbles, man. Okay, because their substance is being taken away. But it says No Kings is a nationwide day of defiance. So you see that? That's rebellion. From the city blocks to small towns, I read that. It says to show the world what democracy really looks like, we're not gathering to feed his ego, but we're building a movement that leaves him behind. Okay, so basically they're saying fuck Donald Trump. Now peep this, right? You got your name, your number, your email address, and zip code. So if Palantir is some type, if they're going to use Palantir as some form of fashion to survey people and get information on people, this document right here with your first and last name and email address will give them all the information that they need. See how the devil works? Why the hell do you need to sign up to attend a so-called peaceful or national protest, which is part of your God-given amendment rights here in America? Why would you need to put this, or why do you need to sign up to attend it if this wasn't some CIA shit? Because we found out that the Waltons were behind it. As we know that Sam Walton have contracts with the government going back into World War II when they was housing those Japanese in those internment camps. They have ties to the deep state, man. So it all comes back full circle. Esau, boy, it's the same playbook. But anyway, 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices." So we see it coming, all right? And you'll be a fool and unwise to partake in these particular events because, like I said, this is just another way to declare martial law, because eventually this society, this system will be locked down by martial law in place. And they will switch over to a new system, and it's going to be done at gunpoint because they want everybody to opt into the new mark of the beast system. That's all this is about. Controlled chaos, man. Hegelian dialectics. Pressure from above, pressure from beneath. And all the riots that we're seeing ain't nothing but paid agitators, man.
That had followed, they were going and burning down cities, businesses. I sat right there in Louisville and live streamed it with cops that were watching as they torched all of 4th Street and then burnt down the building connected to my hotel, causing us to have to flee. So that was BLM. They're dubbing this movement kind of like BLM 2.0, so to speak. And all the backing is there. I exposed this on the live stream again in greater detail. Make sure to go check that out. At the top of the second hour, around 10 o'clock, I started talking about all this, all the goods, who's backing it, who's funding it. We know Churla's involved, which is a taxpayer-funded arm that Karen Bass is using. And this looks to be a well-planned...
And don't get it twisted. That bitch Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, they all in on it too. Okay, they playing that whole good cop, bad cop de facto Jedi mindset because everybody really believe Karen Bass is just in shock and awe. Oh my God, how can he declare martial law? How can he send troops against our orders? Well, you remember you was the one out there in parts of Africa while your city was burning down, right? Same people that was promoting you to get a jab in your goddamn arm Now all of a sudden, now she's against martial law. Her and that crypt keeper looking demon Maxine Waters. Like, Maxine Waters just need to go and croak somewhere, because she was the main one advocating for niggas to put that bullshit in their body. So fuck out of here, man. You don't give a damn about the Jake people, man. This is all a psyop, all right? And this is a prelude to Jacob's trouble. Because when Jacob's trouble comes, that's when the real projectiles are going to fly.
Organized situation. We see the senators copying each other and basically going and posting the exact same thing, saying that just sign the BBB so we can get more troops in there. And it's like, oh, really? Oh, really? You don't want to mention the fact that the tyrannical AI is hidden in there, but all of a sudden we got a situation where all the senators are saying the same thing, copy and paste, that sign the BBB to save the day. Oh, I don't think so. We ain't falling for that. Well, you know how the Hegelian dialect goes. Going live again Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on Dabu 77, breaking stuff like this down in further detail. Check out the link below, the No Kings link, and see if you've got something going on in your city, your neck of the woods. And on the 14th, be out there with the camera, ready to talk to some people and see what's going on. Or not, or just sit there and do nothing and potentially let these scoundrels invade your neck of the woods. Because last time they weren't good people. They tried to send BLM out to all these areas, and like D. White did. People in their neighborhood, they followed them around, making sure they didn't do anything.
That's a recipe for disaster, dude. It says, LA unrest poses a pressing national security threat to the U.S. So those protests that they got, those No King protests, which is sponsored by Walmart or some conglomerate of their corporation, you better believe this shit got PSYOP and CIA written all over it. This is exactly what they want people to do, because I guarantee you, if they have this shit in all 50 states, shit gonna get violent. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. And already he wants to deploy the troops. So, yo, Saturday, man, we gonna really look to see what it is. You know, we gonna really fixate on the spirit. But this is all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Luke 12:49, it says, I am come to send fire on earth, but what would I if I'd already been kindled? So Yahweh Shai didn't come to send no peace, man. Contrary to popular opinion, Yahweh Shai didn't come to send peace. My thing is why, according to you people, man. You know? And peep this.
Just like all those federal agents are not real, some of those are not federal agents. Those protesters, some of them are not protesters. They're being paid. Those are paid agitators out there. It's in Craigslist right now. Central LA, general labor. You'll find the ad, and it's paying a substantial amount of money. Somebody's putting big money to have people out there. They're telling you to be on standby. You don't even have to be out there right now to get paid. They're telling you to be ready. They're paying people. This is a big act. That's why I tell you they're not all agents. They're out there firing upon news reporters.
Yeah, because, you know, hey, eventually they're going to get the green light to roll on the citizens, man. So what they did, they shot that lady. They popped the ass, that reporter.
Reporting live. No officer's going to do that. I don't care if he's a good officer or a bad officer. It's not going to fire on a news reporter that's reporting live with the camera. These are people that is not going to be accountable. That's why they have these masks. We have no idea who these people are. This is a big play on a big stage. If you answer that ad and take that money,
We want justice! You say how? If you love Mexico, go back to Mexico. If you love Mexico, go back to Mexico. If you love Mexico, go back to Mexico. Yeah, and you're fat. Stop the ice rage now!
We have some breaking news, guys. As history repeats itself, we obviously know that any of these rioters, these protesters, never comes out organically, okay? It is always paid protesters and rioters, and we were absolutely right once again. 2 days ago, I went looking for Craigslist ad. I could not find it because usually they put it under peaceful protest. Well, this time they had it under disguise as general labor. They were looking for construction guys to build a building, apparently, but Right Angle News was able to find it, and this is what the ad says. Let's get into it. The ad is, again, disguised under general labor. They are looking for the toughest badass in Los Angeles County. They are seeking extremely tough, brave men for new crew in building. Compensation starts at $6,500 to $12,500 per week.
That's a lot of money. That's damn near 12, 24, 36, 40. That's damn near 50 G's a week. 50 G's a month. That's more than some people's year salary. Just imagine if that shit went on for 6 months, bro. Please, man, you be bringing in good bread. 50 G's a month. Hell, that's over 120,000 a year, man. You know what I'm saying? Easy bread for them people. And you gonna have simpletons out there. Like I said, don't be surprised if you got a nigga out there with a fucking mask and fringes on, throwing bricks and bottles because he want the bag. And that's going back into that database that I showed you when you sign your name up. If Palantir's involved in this, you better believe that they're going to have your information. $6,000 a month, that's more than most people's salaries a month. So, yeah, this is a big event, and they telling people on standby, yeah, they plan on going all the way with this, no matter how sloppy it looks.
We are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. The unit will be activated only when the situation demands it, but you get paid every week no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. What's even more wild is that Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, went on CNN to say this.
Last night, I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern, because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest.
So Mayor Karen Bass is essentially confirming that there is a rapid response team, and this is it. Let's continue with the ad. The ad continues to say, we need individuals.
Told you she was in on it. She know what's up. That's taxpayers' money they paying these people with.
Who do not break, panic, or fold under stress, and are basically all around kick-ass. Dude, physical strength, speed, conditioning is important, but mental toughness is everything. If you're not the biggest guy in the room, but you're the one people follow when things go bad, that's who we're looking for. We are recruiting those who are already hard badasses and ready for confrontation when necessary. However, we can train you if necessary. What we are looking for, mental toughness. You keep a level head under pressure. You don't panic. Bravery. You face danger head on. You don't hesitate. Now, this is just not happening in the state of California. It is actually happening in Texas too. Here is another ad. So here is the ad that is in Craigslist for city of Austin, Texas. Now, we know that there is another protesting happening in Tampa, Florida. So if you guys should go and find one, post it up, let DOJ know, tag the appropriate people, because we know that every single of these protesters are being paid. We have...
Exactly.
Why are we giving you money?
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
You just shut the fuck up. You okay?
I'm good.
Are you okay?
Just got shot in the head.
And them Them rubber bullets hurt like hell.
That man.
These people wild, man. Let's go here. Luke 8. Luke 8 and 17. It says, "For nothing in secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known that come abroad." All right, so that's the point. Everything that's hidden, it will come to the light. And these elites, they're being exposed. Everybody is waking up to the folly that they're on. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Obadiah 1. And let's start at verses 6. It says, "How are the hid things of Esau searched out? How is his hidden things sought up?" Yeah, because the scriptures say he revealed the secrets unto the servants, the prophets, man. So, yeah, we got this devil right in the tracks. Everybody knows what's up. All right, this is the Jimmy Dore show. Here, Murder Sea NGOs planning civil war. Yeah, civil war is on the horizon. Civil unrest. This is the spirit of what's happening in the world, man. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. Lord's will, you'll edify. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
I'm gonna have to change my pants.
Wait, what? I saw this video.
We might get in trouble if we did it because they don't have those constraints. Yep. Palantir's earliest funder besides Peter Thiel, the CIA. Palantir's first client for its first several years as a company, the CIA. Where did Palantir engineers every 2 weeks for years go for guidance in developing their products? CIA HQ. Palantir's originally intended clients per CEO Alex Karp, the CIA. If there ever was a CIA front company, it's Palantir, though Peter Thiel has since quipped that the CIA is a front for Palantir. So Jimmy tweeted this out. Does this guy look like someone panicking and thou doth protest too much? That's because he's doing exactly what he's being accused of, and people are starting to catch on, and he's panicking. So this was an appearance the Karp did on very, very, very friendly to CEO criminal network, CNBC.
New York Times has an article. Here's the headline. Trump taps Palantir to compile data on Americans. They paint a pretty Orwellian picture of what you and the Trump administration are doing.
I was walking over here. I picked a random engineer, and I said, we have a contest. Find all the technically absolutely erroneous things in this article in 90 seconds. And I picked a random engineer. I was like, well, how many do you think you could do in 90 seconds? He's like, well, 15, 20. But leaving aside the technical, look, it's probably
wrong.
hard
Is that
for
what you're
them,
saying?
I'm sure. Well, it's not. Well, first of all, on the tech side, it is so ridiculous. I read the New York Times.